Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everybody, it's dafobra, and today I wanted to talk to you about something that I think many motorcyclists come across, and that's the reaction you get when you tell people you ride. Usually the first thing they'll say is, and the reaction is quite quick. It could be something like, "Wow, you're crazy. You're gonna kill yourself. How could you do that? You know, you got kids to think about." Now, I often wonder if people get the same reaction when they say that they're taking up like flight lessons and learning how to fly an airplane. You know, or do they just say, "Hey, that's cool"? Because it seems that the only people who seem to think riding a bike is, "Oh, that's cool," for the most part, are kids. You know, young kids. "Oh, that's so cool." But adults will give you the old, you know, "Wow, are you crazy? That's ridiculous." And when they find out you're riding a sport bike, the next question you're going to get is, "Are you one of those guys? Are you one of those guys? Are you one of those guys?" Those guys what? You know, those guys who, you know, weave in and out of traffic and, you know, on one wheel 80 miles an hour through the lanes and fire coming out of their ass. No, that's not me. Although I do understand lane splitting. I mean, when it's hot as hell out and you're in bumper-to-bumper traffic and you're dying because you're not squinting it out and you're wearing gear, the last thing you want to do is be sitting there for 40 minutes. And it's always some guy sitting in his, hey, you figured out you made it right. Some guy who's, "What's up, pal?" Sitting in his Infinity with the air conditioning cranked, listening to his Michael Bolton CDs or something, who gets all pissed off because you went front or you went around, because in their mind you've cut them and it's not fair. You know, forgetting about the whole comfort factor, that they're even though they're going to be they're frustrated and pissed off, they're a hell of a lot more comfortable than what we're going through, all geared up. I love doing that. Who needs a horn when you got a throttle? Just keep going. Just make your left. So, I mean, there are a million inherent dangers when riding a bike, and we take that. But now we have to deal with that, with this. And this is the connotation of riding. When the general public thinks about riders, they think about, you know, let's see, for a cruiser, they usually think about some rebellious dirtbag, never shaves, doesn't get the haircut, smoking on a cigarette, you know, riding a Harley, blah, 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 rebel, blah, blah, blah. While the sport bike crowd, we're a bunch of hooligans who lane split at 300 miles an hour. We do wheelies, we scare old women, we do it all. We're crazy. We're silly like that and we're crazy. While there is certainly some truth in every generalization, I would venture to say that, come on, buddy, can you hit the gas? It's the little skinny pedal on the right. No, I'm not a speed demon, but I do think that people have to drive a little quicker than this. Well, he found his brake pedal. But, I mean, we have to change the way the public perceives us. Why? Why should we care? Well, when you have legislation that's coming down from the government that regulates motorcycles only, like California has that new law that prohibits changing the exhaust of motorcycles, and I don't even know what year it is. Let's just say it's 2007 and up motorcycles. Now that doesn't affect me because I'm in California, but I have a 2006. But you know what? What happens in 10 years when you can't find that OEM exhaust for that bike? And now, if you're caught riding with it, you face fines. You face I don't know the details of the law, but you know, it could be, at least at the minimal, it's fines, but it could also be confiscation. What do you do? What do you do then? You can't run your Yoshi, you can't run your Two Brothers, you can't run anything but the OEM DOT stamped cans. And, you know, if you want the public to sympathize with us, they can't think of us as hooligans. They can't think of us in such a bad, negative way. Motorcycle-only checkpoints. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's total selective enforcement. And I know here in Long Island, they did it a couple of years back. They pulled over every single motorcycle on the parkway. Every single bike had to pull over and check everything. I mean, soup to nuts. They went over your helmet. They went over your license, your registration, your insurance. Listen, I have nothing to hide. I'm 100% legal. But that doesn't mean I think what they did is okay. And if we're going to stop things like that from happening, we need the public to think of us in a more positive way. What's the answer? I have no idea. I have no idea what the answer is. I don't know how you solve these problems. But they definitely are problems. And whether or not they're true doesn't even matter, because we all know perception is more important or more powerful than reality. You know, if that's what we're perceived as, we have to work twice as hard to get past that. And listen, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those who speed, those who stunt, those who wheelie. I mean, listen, I'm not passing judgment. And you know what? I would also like to say that the percentage of riders that have taken a safety course is got to be a lot higher than the percentage of automobile drivers who have taken a safety course. And then what if we took out those drivers, automotive drivers, that have taken it because of a penalty? All of a sudden, let's talk about voluntarily taking courses. My God. I mean, I'm sure we got them beat. I'm sure we have a lot more training that we go through collectively as a group. And yet, we're not perceived as safe riders. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have the answers. I'm just posing a couple of questions. I'd love to hear what you think. And ride safe out there, because they don't see us. And they think we're wheeling. All right? All right, everybody. Take care. See ya. Looks like it rained around here. Sarcasm. What a fucking dick.